Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. I would like to thank you all for joining us today. My name is Aparna Haldar and I'll be hosting this webinar. Before we get started, please let me take a few minutes to introduce Payatu. Payatu is a research-powered cybersecurity consulting firm. We have a decade-long track record with a singular focus on cybersecurity. The foundation of Payatu rests upon three pillars: community and conference, consulting and training, products. Community and conferences encompass NERCON, an international security conference, training, and exhibition platform, and Hardware.io, a hardware security focused conference, along with other initiatives. Consulting and training focuses on thorough security assessments, which help businesses to discover security threats and further provide training to strengthen network infrastructure. Lastly, we have two products in private beta trials, that is Exploit, a firmware analysis framework, and CloudPulse, an advanced fuzzing framework. Here is an overview of the various consulting assessments we are known for across the globe. Payatu has delivered many cyber talks and workshops in top security conferences that also include Black Hat and DEF CON. We take pride in the decade-long impact we have created by contributing to the cybersecurity community all around the world. This was all about Payatu. Today, Mr. Gaurav, Payatu's security consultant, will introduce us to Wi-Fi penetration testing. You can read about his wonderful accomplishments on this slide. Before I hand it over to Mr. Gaurav, I request you to follow a few housekeeping tips. Please be on mute. If you have questions, you can write it in the chat box. We'll answer the questions during the intervals or at the end of the webinar. We will be releasing the recording of this webinar on our LinkedIn page. So make sure you are following Payatu. If you are not following the page, check the link in the chat box. You will be directed towards Payatu's LinkedIn page. Without further ado, let's get started. Mr. Gaurav, over to you.
Thanks, team. Let's share my screen. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining the webinar. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Hello, I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
And my screen is visible properly, na?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, guys, this webinar will demonstrate how you will set up your Wi-Fi penetration testing machine. We'll understand some of the network basics and we'll do some pre-connection attacks. So this webinar is for the people who are interested in the Wi-Fi penetration testing. So let's get started. So in this part, we are going to set up the environment. For that, we need some software and some hardwares. So in this week, I'm going to tell you that how can you install the Kali Linux on your VirtualBox and how we can connect the wireless adapter in the VirtualBox. For that, we need some hardware and we need some softwares. The hardware we need is a host machine. So in our case, my VirtualBox is my host machine and we need a victim machine. So I'm having another laptop for my victim machine. We need a router. So I'm using a D-Link router here. We need a wireless adapter card, which will support the monitor mode and packet injection. So in further, we'll discuss more about what is monitor mode and what is packet injection. The software we need here is VirtualBox software and the Kali Linux image. So let's directly jump into the practical. So we'll start with installing the Kali Linux in the VirtualBox. So what we are doing, we are installing our operating system as a virtual machine, because if we break the virtual machine, it will not affect our main operating system. So before we install the Kali Linux, we need to install a virtualization software, as it allows us to create a several virtual computer inside our main computer. For this, we are installing VirtualBox. For install the VirtualBox, what you have to do, simply type VirtualBox on the Google. Click on the first link. Click on downloads. So here you will get a lot of packages according to your machine. Just download it. As I'm using a Windows, I will click on the Windows and it will start downloading. So I'm not downloading it right now because I'm having already. And after downloading, just click on the double file and it will be installed itself. Second thing we need is Kali Linux. To download it, just type Kali Linux on Google. Click on the download icons. As we install the virtual machine, you just have to install its recommended versions. As I am having a 64-bit computer, you guys have to just click on this VirtualBox download icon and it will be download. Okay. So the next step that you have to do after downloading the OVF file, what you have to do, just double click on this icon. So when you click the double click, so what happened, it will open itself under the VirtualBox software. And next step, what you have to do is to click on the import. So I'm not doing right now because I'm already have installed it. I'm canceling it. So the next step, what you have to do is click on the setting, go to the systems, give a base memory a good memory. Like if you are using an 8 GB computer, give it a 3 GB, 2 GB. The more you will give, the more you will get the performance of the VirtualBox. Now go to the networks and enable the network adapters and click on the bridge adapter. Okay. So now our environment is ready to test the wireless. So the next practical we are going to do is connecting the wireless adapter to the virtual machine. So the question arises here, what is wireless card? So a wireless card is a USB device that connects to a computer and it allows you to communicate with a wireless network. So most computer and laptops come with a built-in wireless card. So again, a question arises here. If we are having a built-in wireless card, why do we need an external adapter? Basic question. So the only problem is, first of all, you cannot access built-in wireless card from a virtual machine. Or if you install the our attacker machine as a main machine, like if you install the Kali Linux in the main machine, the built-in wireless card is not good for hacking because we need a powerful adapter that supports monitor mode or packet injection. So thus, a built-in wireless card does not support this mode and we can't use for hacking. That's why a powerful Wi-Fi adapter is recommended. So these are some example that are the wireless card that support the packet injection and the monitor mode. You can see it. So I'm having this one, AWS 1900. This is the most powerful adapter. So let's move forward. Now the next thing comes is let's connect the adapter to the VirtualBox. So again, open your VirtualBox. Now what you have to do, go to the settings, click on USB. Now take your adapter in your hand and you have to plug it in. Okay. So first thing you have to check that the USB is enabled here, and we have to select the USB option that is supported by our Wi-Fi adapter. So it's either USB 1.1, 2.0, 3.0, whatever your USB supports. So in my case, USB 2.0 is supportable. That's why I click on the 2.0. Now, if I click on this icon, the add new USB. So here I'm seeing the two, hello. Okay. So here I'm seeing the two options, Intel Corp and IMC networks. So let's plug my Wi-Fi adapter here. So I plug my Wi-Fi adapter. Now you can see there's a new thing here, Railing Technology Corp. Just click on it. Sure, you install the VirtualBox extension pack. To download the VirtualBox extension pack, what you have to do, go to the same Oracle page. So here is an option, VirtualBox VM extension pack. Just click on it and it will start downloading. Again, just double click on it and it will itself install itself in the VirtualBox environment. Second thing is that some adapter didn't support the plug and play. Like I just suddenly just plug the adapter and start working. But for some, you have to install their drivers. Okay. Now let's come to the next topic. We'll now understand this some network basics, in which I'm going to tell you about some basic understanding of IEEE, what are the bands, what are the security protocol Wi-Fi use, and how your mobile or how your device is connected to a laptop, to a router. After it, we'll discuss about the MAC address and some wireless mode. So the MAC address and the wireless mode are totally practical thing, and this will be some theory. So let's start out small theory part, in which I'm going to tell you about these four things. Let's start with IEEE 802. So basically, Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity, is a wireless network technology that allow devices such as computer, mobile devices, and other equipments to interface with the internet. So it allowed these devices and many more to exchange information with one another and create a network. It transmits the signal through the air. So what does IEEE 802.11? So it is also known as wireless fidelity. It was designed for use in the limited geographical area like home, office, building, and campus. So the access method of IEEE 802.11 Wi-Fi is CSMA, that is carrier sense multiple access, with oblique CA, that is collision avoidance. So IEEE 802.11 uses a various frequency, including, but it's not limited to the 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz. So let me show you how a Wi-Fi packet look like. So it's look like this, in which the frame control, it hold the information about the protocol in use, like type of frame or the type of security used. In the duration, it indicate how long the field transmission will take, so that other devices know when the channel will be available again. In the address one, it is the source or the center MAC address. Okay. In the address two, it is a transmitter address which refer to access point MAC address, like your router. In the address 3, it is the receiver address, which also refers to your access point MAC address. In the sequence controller, it indicates how a large packet is fragmented. In the address 4, it is the destination MAC address. The data, it can be anything, like the frame carries such as an IP address, an IP packet. And in the frame check sequencer, it is an error checking mechanism to ensure that the frame is not integrating anywhere. Coming to the Wi-Fi bands, there are a lot of bands, but the two main frequency that we use in the Wi-Fi are 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. So 2.4 gigahertz band is a frequency range between 2.4 gigahertz to 2.4835 gigahertz. This band is used by 802.11b, 802.11g, and 802.11 and standards. So the 2.4 gigahertz band is divided into 14 fixed frequency, and each channel has 20 megahertz wide. So 2.4 gigahertz is having a slow speed, but it is having a very long range. Coming to the 5 gigahertz band, it used by 802.11a and 802.11n and 802.11 AC standards. So 5 gigahertz band is divided into UNII1, UNII2, where the UNI stands for the Unlicensed National Information Structure, and ISM stands for the Industrial, Scientific, and the Medicals. So these are simply label specification and regulation for the different part of the band. For example, UNI1 band is designed mainly for the indoor Wi-Fi networks, faster speed but shorter range. 5G, 5G is, hello.
Can you put your presentation on full screen, so that will be a bit easier for everyone to.
Actually, I'm facing some error. That's why I didn't put it.
Okay, at the bottom you'll find that icon, right? Fine. Continue.
Yeah. So Now come to the Wi-Fi security protocols. So there are 4 protocols: WEP, WPA, WPA2, and WPA3. So starting with the WEP, it's known as wired equivalent privacy. It is the earliest security protocol that was used for the wireless network. It deployed in 1999. It used 40-bit encryption key, and it was found that the encryption is used is vulnerable and not secure. Coming to the WPA, it's Wi-Fi protected access. So it was developed to solve the problem of WEP. WPA is far better than WEP, as this is because it is stronger encryption method. It used a stronger encryption method that called TKIP, that is temporary key integrity protocol. And TKIP dynamically changed its key as it being used, and this ensures the data integrity. Today, WPA is outdated because TKIP did have some vulnerabilities. Coming to WPA2, it developed to the provide even stronger security than WPA and the WPE. So WPA uses a AES, that is advanced encryption standard. So AES uses symmetric encryption algorithm, which make it strong enough to resist a brute force attack. Coming to WPA3, it was introduced in 2019 or 2018, and according to the officials of Wi-Fi, it says that it will provide a cutting-edge security protocol to the market. So WPA3 stands also replace the pre-shared key, that is PSK exchange, with authentication of equal, that is SAE exchange. Yeah, so that's about the WPA3. And sometimes we didn't put a password, that is an open network. So let's understand how your mobile or how your device get connected with a Wi-Fi. Like, what is the process behind that? Let's understand packet to packet thing. So basically, this process, the connection between your mobile and your router is divided into 3 parts. That is probe, authentication, and the association. So coming to the probe, it is the very first stage in connecting to the wireless network. So what happened? Probe is also known as broadcasting request. So when you start your Wi-Fi connection, clients start broadcasting a probe request to the wait a minute. Clients start the broadcasting the probe request on all the channel to find the access point. So this is the time where your mobile will find the nearby access point. In the probe response, what happened? Now the access point in the range start sending the response to the client. This is the time that you can see the access point in your mobile or in your Wi-Fi. Now the next process is authentication. So what happened in the authentication request? Once we select the access point from the list, the client send the authentication request packet to the access point through this thing. In the response, what happened? If authentication request is successful, then client received an authentication successful response from the access point. Now the final stage, that is association. So what happened in the association request? Now clients send the request to the access point. It means they are ready to start communicating with each other. And in the response, finally the access point send a final response to the client, and they start exchanging the data. So after completing of these 3 steps, probe, authentication, and association, they start exchanging their data. So let's understand it in more deeply way. So I captured a request from the time when I connect my mobile with my router, and we can clearly see the packets, the access packets. So see, this 7E4F is my mobile MAC address. So, and it's a router MAC address, the destination one. So it starts with the probe request. Again, the probe response, authentication, authentication 2, association request, and association response. So we can clearly see the handshake of a mobile and a router here. Now let's come to the next topic. Oh, sorry, I'm just facing some error. That's why I'm not putting in the full screen. So now okay. So now come to the MAC address. So what is MAC? In this topic, we are going to cover 4 things. What is MAC address? Why to change the MAC address? How to hide how to hide the MAC address, and how to change the MAC address. So let's get started. So this is something your MAC address look like. So MAC address control. So it's known as media access control address. It is a hardware address that uniquely identify each node of a network. It assigned by the device manufacturer. So it assigned by the vendor who make the device. So the MAC address is used within the network to identify the devices and transfer data between devices. So each piece of a data or a packet that is sent within the network contain a source MAC address and a destination MAC address. We can clearly see here. See, this is a data pack, and every data pack has having a source MAC address and having it is also having its destination MAC address. Okay. So your MAC address is look like something like this. So the starting 3 will tell you who is the vendor of the MAC address, and the last 3 will tell you the series number of the MAC address. Now let's continue. So let's change the MAC address, but a question arises here, but why? So MAC address is a unique physical address to each network device, and it is used to identify the devices. So then changing it will make us anonymous on the network. The next question here comes, how to hide a MAC address? Because so you guys are thinking that how you can change the MAC address if it's computer read, because it's from computer read, it's from the hardware. So you are not going to modify the hardware. You are going to change the RAM. So when the computer start, the MAC address loaded in the RAM, and we are going to change the already loaded MAC address. So when you change the MAC address, so the victim will find your fake MAC address, and they will not be able to trace you. So let's do this practical. So let's start our machine. I was having it. Srajan, can you mute yourself?
Gaurav,
Yes, Srajan.
I'm a bit out.
So Srajan, can you type? Yeah, please tell.
I just have a doubt how to find a vendor details to the MAC address.
Okay, vendor details. Okay, no issues. So as this is the example of a MAC address, just do one thing. Just copy this address. Go on Google. Type MAC Finder. So you will come to know about this MAC vendor website. Just go here and paste your MAC address here and press enter. So through these 3 points, you come to know that the vendor of this MAC address is an Intel Corporation. Okay, Srijan? Yeah, okay. So now let's do a practical to change our MAC address. Just start your machine. And guys, if you are having any doubt, just please type in the chat. Ishan, don't worry, you will get the recording of this session. And we just started the main practical session from right now. Which is the cheapest Wi-Fi adapter that supports the monitor mode and the packet injection? Okay, good question. So just go on the Flipkart and search for a terabyte Wi-Fi adapter. So it will cost you around 300 rupees, and it will support your packet injection in the monitor mode, and we'll discuss more about it. So this is the best thing. I'll put this link in the chat. It's better for you. Okay, so I think our machine is booted. Okay, now this is the time when we connect our Wi-Fi adapter. We'll wait for a while. It's not connected yet. Yeah, it's connected now. So open your terminal. Guys, is it visible to you? Ishan, I just teach you guys that how to install the Kali and the VirtualBox. Not practical yet done yet. We'll start the practical from right now. Parish, can you tell me that is it visible?
Yes,
The
yes,
text?
yeah.
Or I'll zoom it. No, I think it's
Now it's
visible.
fine.
Okay. So first type if config. So here is our Wi-Fi adapter card, and you can see there is a MAC address here. So let's start. Okay, so in the upper image, you guys can see ETH0. So that is it's a virtual interface created by the VirtualBox. L0 is the Linux default interface, and WLAN0 is our wireless adapter. Wait a minute, guys. Okay. So let's get started. So now we are having two methods to change the MAC address. So I will go with the first method. So what you have to do, first type if config. So see, whenever you want to change any value, like if you want to change any value of this, what you have to do, you have to make the device down. So to disable an interface, we are going to do if config followed by the interface name. The interface name here is WLAN0 followed by down to disable it and press enter. So now we want to change the MAC address that is represented by Ether. So to change the MAC address, what we'll do, if config followed by the interface name that we want to change. So we want to change the MAC address of WLAN0. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So type if config followed by the interface name that you want to change, followed by the option that you want to change. So in this, we want to change the hardware address. So type HW Ether, ETHER. Okay. Then we'll give the address that we want to change the current MAC address. So example, I'm giving right now it's 00:11:13:14:15 and hit enter. Okay, device resource is busy. You may need to down the interface. Okay, student down. Config down. Okay, it's changed now. So we do it again if config. Devices change. Let it connected. Stay here. Okay. Now it's time to make our device again up. If so, for that we type if config device name and make it up. So it's up again. Now we'll type if config. Now we'll see that our MAC address is changed. Okay. So this is the first method, and I'm going to tell you one more method. So for that, what you have to do. So Kali has already installed program called MAC Changer, which let us to change the loaded MAC address. For that, what we have to do, again, we have to change something. We have make the Wi-Fi adapter down. If config WLAN 0 down, then type the command make changer --help. So we can use anyone. So right now I'm using the random one. So for using the random one, what you have to do, you have to type make changer --. Either you can type random like it's here, or you can use single argument -r. Okay, space, the name of the adapter we need to change WLAN0 and press enter. So as we changed previously, so the current address of the MAC address is this, and the permanent address is this, and through this we change the MAC address to the C2CB8795-3D07. Okay, so through these steps we can change the MAC address easily. Now let's come to the slides. Wireless mode. So if we want to hack Wi-Fi, we need to capture the handshake. So this handshake is connection between victim computer and the wireless network. With this handshake, we can hack the password and the Wi-Fi name. So as all the data, you guys are thinking like as all the data is sent as a packet in the network device to a particular device, to get in the right direction, that use a MAC address, like it has a source MAC address, it has a destination MAC address. Like, so each packet has a source MAC address and a destination MAC address, and it's flow from source to destination. So the question arises here, if the MAC address is used to ensure that each packet get delivered to the right place, then how we capture it? As we seen the previously, see, everyone has a source MAC address and a destination MAC address. So if the packet is having both the thing, the question arises here, how we can capture it? So this only applied to the default mode of wireless card, which is manage mode. So in only this applied this thing in the only in the manage mode. So if we are in the Wi-Fi range, then we are able to capture all the communication between this packet, because this packet are sent in the air. So we can capture them even if they do not have our MAC address as a destination MAC address. So monitor mode allow a wireless card to monitor. So here's come the story of the monitor mode. So monitor mode allow a wireless card to monitor the packets that are received without any filtering. So when using some wireless driver, these modes allow for sending a raw 802.11 frames. Okay, so to do this, we need to change our mode of operation of wireless interface so that it can operate in the monitor mode. So again, we are having I'm having two steps, like to change the manage mode to monitor mode. So let's do it. So if I type iwconfig, so you can see the mode of my wireless card is right now manage. Okay, so this means that this is the default mode of all the wireless devices, and it's mean this device will only capture packet that has a destination MAC address and a MAC address of the device. So basically it only capture the device that are directed to our Kali machine, but this is not we are looking for. What we are looking for, what we able to capture, that we are able to capture all the packets that are within our range. Just a minute. That range, just a minute. So even if they are not sent to the router, even they are set for another device, so we can capture that packets. So let's do another thing. So let's do a practical in which we are going to put our card in the monitor mode. Okay. Again, we have to change these things. So what we'll do first, we'll make the card down. If config, name of the interface. Okay. So now we can enable the monitor mode. Okay, but before that, we are going to run a command to kill any process that could interfere with while using the interface mode. So killing the process is not mandatory, but it will actually give you a better result in the upcoming arcade. So the command will be here on ng check kill. So what will do? So now you will see that when you run this command, it will kill the network manager. In the above, you can see it. It killed the network manager. So you lose the internet connection, but there is no problem because we will only need to be in a monitor mode. So when we are running the pre-connection attack that we are going to do, so we do not need internet connection to run any kind of attack, which requires monitor mode. We'll discuss more this. So now the next step is we type iwconfig, okay, the name of the adapter. Now what we have to change? We have to change the mode to the monitor. Press enter. Okay, it is busy right now. Okay. So what we did right now, we changed the mode to the monitor mode. Now again, what we have to do, make the card up. If config, name of the adapter, and up. Okay. So this is the method one. Now again do iwconfig. Now you will see that your mode is changed to the monitor mode. So this is the method one. Now I will tell you the method two, in which what we can do. See, again, you have to change these things. What you do, make the adapter down. If config WLAN 0, down. Okay. Now we'll run a single command, that is on ng start WLAN 0 and hit enter. So what this process will do, it will automatically kill all the processes that are here, and it will enable the monitor mode. Just again, we need to up our adapter. If config WLAN 0 up, iwconfig. See, the mode is monitor now. Anyone having any doubt, please type in the chat. Okay. Let's move forward. So now the main part is coming here, the pre-connections attack. So the first part in the pre-connection attack is the packet injection. So question arises is, what is packet injection and why we do it? So in the computer network, packet injection is a technique of tampering with an established network connection by generating packets that appear to be part of normal communication stream. So the packet injection method allow an unknown third party to interrupt or intercept the packets. So packet injection is commonly used in the man-in-the-middle attacks and the denial of the service, that is DOS attack. Okay. So as I told you that we are going to learn about these topics, packet injection, in which recently I told you about the what is it, why we need it. Next thing we are going to do is our adapter is capable of doing the packet injection. So again, a practical comes here. Okay, we'll answer it later.
Gaurav,
So,
Raj has a doubt. He has
yeah.
mentioned in the chat.
Just I read it. We'll answer it later. So is our adapter is being capable of doing the packet injection? Let's test it. So again, come to the console. So to do it, what we do, so to test the packet injection, we will use a tool, AirPlay NG. Okay, and we'll do -help first to understand. Sorry. So what we need to do right now, we have to test that our adapter is capable of doing the injections or the quality. So we'll use this thing. Again, the same command, but this time we'll use test and the name of the Wi-Fi adapter. So if you see that injection is working or you see a access point here, then your adapter is being capable of doing the packet injection. So here's come the point. If you are not get injection is, if you get like your injection is not working or no access AP found, so there are two conditions. Either your adapter is not capable of doing the packet injection or there is no access point nearby. One more point I forget. So that is in the monitor mode. So there are 2 points we forget in the monitor mode. So after the mode change to the monitor, okay, so the interface name can be changed to, let me not wait. So when you change your mode to monitor mode, so what happened that the interface name change can be changed to the WLAN 0, either MON 0, either WLAN 0 or MON. So it's not an issue. Just select the name what you get after doing the if config. Okay. And second thing is that not all adapters supports the monitor mode. So let's continue. Ishan, we are using another adapter. It's not a laptop adapters. So you missed that slide in which I tell about why we are not using the laptop adapter. Okay, no issues. So now coming to some sniffing basics. So now that we have enabled the monitor mode or our wireless interface, so we are able to capture all the Wi-Fi packets sent within the range. Okay, I'll answer this question now. So here is the answer, Raj. Now we can sniff all the packets that are in the air. Okay, so we are able to capture all the Wi-Fi packets sent within our range, even if the packet is not directed to our computer. So now we need a program that can capture this packet for us. Okay, so the program that we are going to use is AeroDump-ng. That is our first practical. So it's a program designed to capture the packets while we are in a monitor mode. So it will allow us to see all the wireless networks around us and show us the detailed information about it, like MAC address, its channel, its encryption, the clients connected to the network, and so on. Okay, so let's sniff the packet using this. First of all, what you need to enable the monitor mode, as we are already enabled it. Just check it. If config. Yeah, so our monitor mode is enabled. Now run a command AeroDump-ng and name of the interface. So after execution of this command, you will see it start working. It discover all the wireless network around me and displaying the useful information about it. So this program will continue working unless you quit it. So to quit it, just press Ctrl+C and it will stop. Okay. So let's understand the result. Okay. So what is BSID here? So BSID shows the MAC address of the target networks. These are the router, maybe hotspots. Second thing is PWR. It shows the signal strength of the network. Higher the number, better the signal. Okay. Third one is beacon here. So you guys are able to see it properly now. Can you type yes in the chat if you are able to see clearly? Yeah. Okay. Nice. So next is data. It shows the number of data packets or the number of data frames. Okay. The next one will show the number of packets that we collected in the past 10 seconds. CH will show the channel on which the network work on. Okay. The AMB shows the maximum speed supported by the network. The encryption will tell you the encryption method that is used by the network that we learned previously, like it should be WEP, WPA, or open. So there is a network, it is open network. This is using a WPA2. Okay. This is my home network, the lab one. Next one is the auth. So it shows the authentication used on the network. And the last one is ESR ID. This is the very important thing. It will tell you the name of the network. So yeah. So right now we are able to see like these all are the 2.4 gigahertz APs. So the two main frequency that use in the Wi-Fi network are 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Now, previously, like this time when we use the Aerodum, we only sniff the 2.4 gigahertz, but you sometimes you can see while when you open your network area, Wi-Fi adapter area. See, like right now, yeah. See, I'm having a Wi-Fi lab 5G network. Okay, so there are some 5G network also, but this time our adapter didn't capture it. So now what we are going to do, we going to do a specific, we'll capture the specific band network. To do this, what you have to do, you will type a command, Aerodump ng. Now we'll use a new argument that is -- band. Again, I'll open a notepad for you. Okay. So if we use A, it means we want only 5G networks, 5 gigahertz network. If we use B or G, it means we need 2.4 gigahertz. Only. Okay. So now as we want to capture the 5 gigahertz, so what we'll do? We'll simply type if config -- bands A and the name of the adapter. Actually, I think I'm using a low model adapter. That's why it's not able to capture the 5 gigahertz, but it's not an issue. So you just have to remember about the command. Okay. Let's come to the PPT. We are done with this. So sniffing our specific target using an Aerodum. Okay. So in this step, here it is. So in this step, we will run Aerodum ng to see all the devices that are connected to a particular network. Okay. And collect more information about it. Once we have a network to target, it is useful to run Aerodum ng on that network only instead of running it on all over the network around us. Okay. Let's do it. Open your machine. So let's take example that my home network is my target and I want to see how many devices are connected with it. And let's do it. So what you have to type? You have to type a command Aerodum ng space. Now we'll use a new tag here, -- BSSID. So see, the BSSID is the MAC address of my network. So I just copy it here. Space, paste. Okay. Now space, -- channel. So we have to type the how many channel it is using. So it is using a 4 channel. Simply write it 4 and the name of our interface. W0 and press enter. So it is only going to capture the particular format networks. Okay. So let's give it some time. That is enough. Now I'm stopping it. See. So let's understand the result. So previously I tell you about these upper things. Now let's understand these things. So here BSID shows the MAC address of the target network. So this time we target this one. So BSID will be same for the all. The next one is stations. So station shows the number of devices that are connected to a network. So these are the devices that are connected to these routers. Okay, this router. PWR shows the power strength of each devices. Rate will show how the speeds. Loss will show the amount of data loss, and the frame will show the number of frames that we have to capture. Okay. Now come to the our next topic, that is the authentication attack. So this is the most interesting attack. So through this attack, we can disconnect any client, like we can disconnect any user from any Wi-Fi. Okay. We don't need the Wi-Fi password, or we don't need to connect with the Wi-Fi. So through this attack, if a user is connected to your home network or any network, you can just simply disconnect it. So to do this, what we are going to pretend, let me open a pant. Text here. This is your router. This is the client or the user. And here we are, attacker. So to do this, we are going to pretend to be client. Okay. For the router to do this, we are pretend to be client, that we want to disconnect by changing our MAC address to the MAC address of the client. We'll change our MAC address to the client MAC address, and we'll tell the router that I want to disconnect from you. Okay. Then again, we are going to pretend to be a router by changing our MAC address to the router MAC address, and we'll tell the client that you request for the disconnected. Wait a minute. Okay. This time we'll pretend as the router, and we'll tell the client that you request. Hello. Okay. So we are going to pretend in the router again and changing our MAC address to the router MAC address, and tell the client that you requested for the disconnected. So what happened? The router will disconnect the client. Okay. So this will allow us to successfully disconnect or deauth any client from any network. Okay. So now we are not going to do it manually. We are going to use a tool called AirPlay NG to do this. Okay. So let's do this practical. Okay. So type the name of the program, which is AirPlay NG. Okay. So whom to disconnect? Let me check any. So I'm having another laptop. I'm just checking its MAC address. CMD ipconfig all just in time ipconfig. Okay. So I'm having another laptop with me, and the MAC address of that is physical address. Okay. Just a minute. It is not connected to the lab. I'm just connecting it. So we'll get a MAC address for it. So let's continue with till the time it connected. So next, what we'll do, we'll type -- deauth because we want to use this attack. We'll tell that we want to run a deauthentication attack. Then we'll give the number of the authentication packets. So I'm using a huge number. Okay. So giving a large number so that it keeps sending packet to both router and the target device. So we can disconnect target device for a long period of a time. Now type space -a and type the MAC address of the target network. So the target network is our main. I'm just copying it. Okay. Now space no -c space the name of the target MAC. So see, these are the users that are connected to my Wi-Fi. Okay. So let me check the MAC address of a nearby laptop. ipconfig oblique all. It didn't change yet. FC77. Okay. No issues. Okay. So let us take this device. We'll disconnect this one. I'm not just, I didn't use my one. RP config. So what is my MAC address? It is FC. Oh, it's good that we didn't select our MAC address. Let's select this one. Type it here, space, the name of the adapter. Okay. So this is the command that we'll use. So this is the main router MAC address. Okay. And this is the client MAC address. So you can easily found by doing the sniffing. Okay. And just press enter. So start doing the deauthentication attack on the client. By this time, our client will be disconnected. Let me show you. I took the sniff of it. So it looked like this. See, it will be automatically, your client will be automatically disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Now I'm stopping it. So guys, understand this thing? Let's continue. Yeah. So now the last topic is unlocking a hidden networks. So sometimes happens, you guys will see that there are some hidden networks. Right now, I'm not able to see. Just wait. The router is stuck. Yeah. Sometimes you guys see that there is a hidden network and it is open. And when you try to connect it, it tell you type the name of the SSID. Okay. So what happened here? Wait a minute. So a hidden network is one that does not broadcast its name or SSID ID. So hidden network, but still broadcast their existence. Okay, so I'll connect a device with the hidden network. Just connect this one. Okay. So the problem that if we can't connect to a router or we can't attempt to crack it password. Okay. The solution for it will use a AeroDump NG to determine the ESID if the network is active, or we can do deauthentication one of the client for a short period of time and monitor the reconnection through it. So how to discover a hidden network? Okay, let's come to the point again. So there are multiple techniques to first we'll check for the hidden network. That is type AeroDump. Minute. AeroDump NG. Started. So it started capturing the. Okay, let's stop it. So this one, you can see it is not telling its name, and it is an open network. We just recently see it here. This one is the hidden one. So if we are able to find the name of this router, so we can easily connect with it. Okay, to find the name of it, so there are two methods to discover the hidden network. The first is we'll monitor that hidden network and wait till a new client trying to associate with the hidden network, because the time a new user will connect to that router, it will share its SID at the time of association. Okay. Second thing is the best. What we'll do, we'll deauthenticate one or all connected clients for a short period of time, and we'll monitor the reconnection through the AeroDump. Okay. So let's do it. I'll start a horizontally here. AeroDump. What you want? You want to capture for the particular That's I think it's visible now. Okay, let's stop it here. Okay, and we know that this is our MAC address 10. See, so this is our target network. Okay, so let us type the command for the deauthentication attack. That is air replay ng --- deauth. Again, the deauthentication packets, but this time we need it for a short period of time. So I'm only using 20 packets. So it will disconnect it for a very short period of time. Again, -a, the network MAC address we want to find. Second, -c space, the name of the target. Now, how will you find a target? See, this is the attacker. This is the main router. So we'll find it here. Okay, it's here. And the station that is connected to it is 0858, this one. So we'll disconnect this client from this router. And the time when it again connect with this router, it will share its name. Control-Shift-3. And the name of the wireless card. 000. Okay. Now I'll start the sniffing again. It will be continue. And let's disconnect the client. Waiting for the beacon frame. Okay, no issues. Wireless line 0 is on the channel 5, but the APU is channel 9. Okay, okay. See, here you will able to find the name of that router. Let me stop it now. This one too. So what we did, we disconnect the one of the client, and the time the client make a connection with the router, it share its name. We are able to find the name of the router. So what simply you have to do, just copy the name. Okay, we'll paste. So if you found the name of the hidden network, what you have to do, simply you have to connect with it. Let me show you how you will connect it. So I'm removing my adapter. Okay, and I'm restarting my machine. I'll just copy the name here in a new text file. Let me paste it here. So I'm pasting the name of the client here. I'm saving it. Let's just restart the machine. This time we don't, yeah, we need a Wi-Fi adapter, but this time we don't need in a monitor mode. We simply want to connect with the hidden network, because maximum hidden network don't have a password. They just set their config file to the hidden network. Type your password. Just a minute, let it load. Okay, so let's again connect the Wi-Fi adapter. Wait here. It's not showing. Go to device USB. Yes. We'll wait till it connect. Yeah, it started. So now click on connect to the hidden Wi-Fi network. Okay. So simply what you have to do, go to that file and copy that name. paste the name and simply connect it. Go to the browser. Let's randomly search for it. I think we have connected with it. Yeah, so you can see that we are connected with the hidden network. Then go to the router file. Hmm, 192.168 might be 0.1. And yes, we found the router page. So thank you guys. So we have completed our today topic. And also guys, we are having our own IoT security kit. And if you are having an interested in it, so we are giving the discount till 7th of this month. And the code will be this one. I'll put the code in the chat. So if you want to see the website, I'll give a walk through the website. Exploit. Where do you have to go? You have to go on the expert writing.
Exploit.io.
Yeah. So this is our company product. You simply go on the stores and you will find a lot of IoT security kit here. And this is totally made in India kit. You can try it here and the code is with you. Okay, let me answer some of the questions. So in the DO method, when we connect to a victim.
Gaurav, we have many questions in the chat box. You can take those also.
Yeah. What is the best adapter for the okay. A lot of questions are here. Okay, no issues. What is the best adapter for Wi-Fi hacking? Okay, Raj, first your answer. See, if you are having a budget issue, just go on the Flipkart. I already tell this. Wait a minute. I'm not able to back it. Just go on the Flipkart and search for this terabyte adapter. Okay, so this is the best adapter in the budget. Okay, it will cost you around only 300 rupees, and it supports monitor mode and packet injection. And just be careful while you purchase this that you will get the original one. Okay, so this is the original one. Its pic look like this. And if you are having a good budget, go in the Alpha. Just go on Alpha website. Alpha India. No, this is not the one. Alpha adapters. I'm finding its proper website. See, this is the proper website, and you can purchase any of the adapter. See, the best adapter will be one for which you just have to do plug and play. Okay, for the rest of the adapter, like this one, I'm using this one, AWS 1900. For this, what you have to do, you have to install the driver for it. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, let's pick up the next question. Okay. How to secure your Wi-Fi from the DOT? So for that, you can use your wired network is the best thing that you can use. Next, so in the deauthentication method, when we connect to the victim machine, does it get next access from our network or with the victim was connected? So when we connect to the victim machine, okay, does it get the net access from our network or with which victim was connected as well? as we just pop in the middle of the traffic. I didn't get your question. If you're talking about the deauthentication attack, we are not going to connect with in deauthentication attack. We didn't connect with any of neither with the client nor with the router. Okay. Yeah, the time we connect with the hidden network, this is the time, yes, we can get the data from the router. Any more questions, guys? Okay. Yeah, team, I'm done with my presentation.
Thank you,
Hello, Parikh.
Gaurav, for such a wonderful session. And thank you for attending this webinar.
Wait a minute. Ishan is having one more question.
Okay. Please
More on.
continue.
Yeah. Okay. Ishan, okay. Simply, if you want to learn today's thing that I teach you, just don't do anything. Just go on the website, type for pyato.com. Go to the resources, go to the blog series. You will get an n number of resources here. Okay. So if you want to know about the Wi-Fi, I'm having my full series. So whatever I taught you today, it's available here in the 2 parts. Okay. And it is a well-detailed blog. Let me open you the part 1. So in this part, you will get all the things, all the links, all the resources of each and everything. Okay. If I'm facing any problem, so what I did here, I just added a note points here. Like, see, in the starting, I'm facing a problem that I'm not able to see the USB 2.0 and 3.0. So I come to know about that. I have to install a VirtualBox for it. So I note the whole point here that the problem that I face, so it is better for you. So I'm sharing the link in the chat as well. So it is better for you. Okay, I think my screen is not shared. Sorry. Oh, it's shared. So you can go on this blog series simply. Okay. Yeah, team, we can wrap now.
So are there any more questions amongst the attendees?
Guys, if you are having any questions, anything, you can ping me on the LinkedIn. You can ping me on the Twitter itself. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So thank you for such a wonderful webinar, Gaurav. And I would like to request all the attendees to fill in the feedback form, the link for which has been shared in the chat. And the link for this particular webinar's recording would be uploaded very soon on our LinkedIn page as well as our YouTube channel. So I request you all to follow Payatu on Facebook as well as LinkedIn as well as Twitter and YouTube as well. Thank you.